This moment on Valley Spotlight, we are putting the spotlight and all of the lights out here at the planetarium at YSU and Curt Spivey. Curt, nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Lauren.
I'm a big fan of his when he does the midday news at 21 WFMJ, and I've never personally been able to meet you before.
Yeah, glad you're here.
I am glad to be here, but sometimes under the circumstances.
Yeah, I've been better.
You guys have been better out here.
Yeah.
For folks that maybe missed the headlines or, just maybe, sometimes you're out of town and you don't realize what's happening in your own backyard. That's the reason we're here with you today. You guys had a fire.
Yes, it was the very first day of class here at YSU, January 9th. I just so happened to be on WFMJ with Steve Vesey at the moment that the fire broke out. And then I hustled back up here, straight up Phelps Street, and watched them peel my roof back. What happened was some roofers were working on a roof that's adjacent to the planetarium. It's a flat roof. They were putting a membrane down with the torches, and they caught our roof on fire as they did it, unfortunately. So the fire damage, thanks to the Youngstown Fire Department, was minimal as far as that goes. We got some smoke in the room. The big thing was the water. They had to peel back the roof, and they used tons and tons and tons of water in this room. So most of the damage we're looking at is water damage.
Water damage from literally the dome and then down. But
yes.
Let's start on some of the brighter moments, and we'll get to some of the the details as to what you guys are going to be facing in the future.
Sure.
There were a few things that, knock on wood, we're still sort of waiting on this baby right here.
Yes. The good news is Kronos seems to be intact. As of this recording date, next week, our tech is coming out who takes care of Kronos for us, and he's going to give it its final bill of health or let us know if something's wrong with it. But it does appear Kronos and our 4K video system, for the most part, survived.
We are hoping and praying for you guys that is most certainly the case. But this is the thing that sort of creates a lot of the magic on top of so many other pieces of technology within this room. They kind of all work together.
Mm-hmm.
There's one that I know the famous name of Disney also incorporates, but we were some of the first here.
Yes, the lights that we're using in here are from a company called Chroma Cove. If you've ever gone to Disney and worn the little hats with the LED lights in, they make those. They're the ones that make them flash to the music when you're sitting in the park, all that stuff. That's all Chroma Cove. But they also do lighting for planetariums. The LED lights in here, we were one of the early adopters. We've had the system for about 10 years. Unfortunately, the side over your head over here took tons of water, and the company has evolved so many generations past our system. The Cove light system is definitely one of the things that's going to have to be replaced before we can be reopened.
Yeah, 10 years in that world is like 100,000 years.
And as you see, a lot of it's working, but there's a bunch of segments that aren't, and they can't replace those because we've evolved so far.
So you mentioned it at the very beginning when we just started talking here, that the flame damage was minimal, but the water damage, as people are sort of sitting at home, they're like, oh my gosh, everything's fine. But when you look really, really close, there's like little tiny holes within the dome, and there's a possibility that you're going to have to replace it.
Right. The dome is original to the room from 1967 when it was open. It's been installed for 55 years. And as you look at the dome, if you look up close, there are lots of holes in. That is designed to reduce the weight of the dome by 23%, but still provide a screen that you can project onto. When the fire department had to hose down the back of the dome to get the flames out, basically this dome turned into a giant sprinkler head. And you can see across the dome the water streaks going down even over on this side where the fire wasn't. And you can see discoloration on the dome. A lot of that has to do with the insulation that they knocked out of the ceiling, and wet, soggy insulation is just laying on the back of the dome there, and it's creating mold issues at the moment. So
people at home are probably like, gosh, I've taken classes there, or I've been there for community functions, and you're right. This is one of the most popular buildings on the YSU campus.
Yes, when we are going full bore, Not counting the classes that are in this room, just the school tours and the public shows, we put close to 20,000 people per year through this room, which rivals what they put through the Bigley Center for basketball games and the football stadium.
That's a testament, Curt.
Yeah.
That is a big statement. People are probably wondering, well, what are you guys going to do in the meantime? How quickly are you guys going to be able to be back up and running? And do you need help? Those are like three big questions right there.
We're still actually fairly early in the process. Right now, the YSU insurance company is talking to the roofers insurance company, and we don't know how much insurance is going to cover of the damage. So that's step one. Step two is once we figure out what's going to get replaced and what's going to get paid, then we actually start the process. Then we'll start looking at what money we're going to need from the community. The nice thing is the planetarium does have 4 endowments. They help us buy shows, they help us maintain the equipment, things like that. But we do have an endowment that we, if you've ever come to a planetarium show, you'll always see our donation box up at the front. That goes into a fund of ours called the Friends of the Planetarium. When we're ready to start giving money to get the planetarium back up, that's probably where we'll direct people through the YSU Foundation. We're not to that point just yet, but we certainly hope it won't be a really extended period. I'd say we're probably looking at a year before we can get reopened as it is. And that's just, even if we do minimal stuff here, it's going to take a while to get the dome painted and cleaned if it does stay. That I am not 100% sure of because it's very tight between the dome and the ceiling at the back, and there is a lot of damage from the actual fire on the ceiling behind, and we don't know if they can get back up there and actually fix that damage without getting the dome out of the way.
A lot of unknowns for you guys.
Yes.
When you're sitting and telling this story to me and to so many people in the community, how do you get through it? Like, this is kind of like one of your babies. You okay?
Yeah. I've been in planetariums for 30 years.
And 13 in this one, right?
13 in this one.
Okay.
Fortunately, I have opened 2 brand new planetariums in my career, so I know what to expect once we get the ball rolling. My big thing now is the uncertainty until we're ready to get the ball rolling. So, but to keep the community engaged, we still want to get the word about astronomy out there to people. Back during the pandemic, we did a series of online shows that we called Keep Looking Up. We did those weekly because we knew everybody was stir crazy and stuck at home. So we're probably going to do them once or twice a month. It's going to take us a little while to get those started back up because, I'm really, really rusty going live on Facebook with Zoom, and I got to practice again because it's been a while with that. But we're going to start doing them live on Facebook, and then you can always go to our YouTube page where we'll have a recording of the show posted as well. So we are still going to keep trying to engage with the community. I'm still going to keep going on WFMJ. I'm still going to keep going out in the community. And we have a big astronomical event that's going to happen 1 year from April 8th. 2024 is a total solar eclipse here in Youngstown. The sun's going to be 99% covered. If you go just west of here, you're going to be in totality where the entire sun is covered. First time this has happened in 30 years. So we hope that the planetarium will be open for that. If not, we are definitely going to be doing some community engagement for the eclipse.
Curt, you are so passionate about what you do. I feel like we could keep going, but you know what? Time is of the essence.
Yeah.
We will come back and visit you whenever you want us.
Yes,
okay?
We'll keep you updated.
Thank
and
you.
We'll definitely have you back before we open to the public again.
Can't say thank you enough.
No problem. Thanks, Lauren.